We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to today's LinkedIn or YouTube live. Doesn't matter where you're looking at, the live is going to be streamed in both of the channels at the same times. So today, there's not going to be any slides because we are going to talk about me, myself, and I. And I just want to tell you my story and how I became the entrepreneur that I am today. So today's live is going to be who is Stefania Arca. And if you want to know more about my story, please keep watching. So I just want to start saying that for most of my career, I was just living a different life. I'm not too sure if saying like I was living a lie is the correct statement right here, because nothing of that was like intentionally or was not like maliciously, but definitely it's true that I was living someone else's definition of success, thinking that was mine. um, so, I mean, today, me, Stefania Arca, I'm going to reply to the famous question like, who is Stefania Arca? You know, every time that someone new is approaching me, a potential client, a client, just like a collaboration partnership, people ask me, who is Stefania Arca? So here we are. If you find me here, probably you know me as the founder of Exit Strategy, where I worked, lead, managed. Here I am. Okay, my microphone is back. Sorry. um, so I was saying like I'm just gonna come back. I didn't know exactly when it did happen. So what I was saying. Yeah. So I am the founder of International Exit Strategy, which is a project management agency plus a leadership consultancy for the services businesses. And you know me, I have managed, lead, and worked inside so many different projects in Europe, UK, and North America. And in these ones, there is like here in London, Heathrow, Gatwick, and the American Embassy during the First and the Second World War. The Olympia refurbishment, like the new transformation of Olympia and Hammersmith and Fulham. And these are just some of my recent projects because I am class 1987. So I am working like in the construction industry more than 13 years. And then like if I'm gonna count all of the previous industry, like the creative, the art one, etc., I would say like I'm working almost 20 years now. So what do people do not actually know? It's just like I am Italian. I came from Sardinia. Sardinia is just the island in the center of the Mediterranean Sea. And I came really from a very small town. And I mean, if I was thinking like to work in the project where I had been involved in, I mean, it was just like an utopia when I was like growing up. You know, like the and what actually happened was just like when I joined in the corporate environment, people were just saying like, you're too direct, you're too difficult, because I was coming from really a completely different environment, and it took me a while to adapt myself to those unwritten rules. I do not really know when happened, but what I know is just like I ended up twice in the hospital because like my body was literally forcing me to stop. And it was just like my body was speaking and my mind was not. So I was just trying to ignoring the stress. My yoga path as a yoga teacher was part of this recovery. But yeah, I mean, I know how stressful a project could become if it's not managed or lead in the proper way. But the real story that leads to exit strategy, it just it comes even from more before the recent years. So, I mean, let's start from Sardinia. When I was in Sardinia in Italy, and I just grew up like in a household where creativity and logic weren't opposite. I was like the black sheep in my family, and I always felt like I was more talented in artistic field, and my parents were kind of scary of this my influence, and they were just like, every parent that has a child that loves art, like art, is just gonna questioning like, how are you gonna pay your bills? And so my dad and my mom as well in the house had one rule for me. It was just like, prima il dovere e poi il piacere in Italian. And in English, it would be something like duty first and the pleasure came second, as a second thing. And so it means that I was able to practice all my artistic, creative side until I was perfectly fine with the logical one. It means that, of course, my parents had done a very strong process for trying to teach me how to love math, physics, etc. And reality just that after a while, I have just discovered that I was in love with math as well, not only with art. And that actually I feel like I am split between these two words. If someone asks me like, which one do you choose? To be honest, right now, like when I'm close to 40s, I can't really choose any one of them. It's just like there are days where I just need the creativity for thinking out the box and just feeding that part of myself. And then there are other days where I actually need to be back to reality, and I need to put some kind of rules to everything that goes out of the box. And in that way, like math, it's something that is gonna bring me clarity, because if I don't pay attention, like in art, I can go wherever. There are no rules, no limits, no boundaries. And as much as is fascinating, I must confess that losing yourself inside that word, it's really common. So like I am just splitting in the two. I do not have like a 50-50, but I mean, I'm just gonna follow the art when I feel like I mean, I am kind of losing the point. I'm kind of losing myself. So I'm just gonna move back to math that is gonna give me structure. It's gonna tell me like when your equation is gonna verify you're done, your job is done. You can close the book and you can go outside and having fun. And so I just need a math for like satisfy myself as well, bringing back structure. And I can't just choose any one of them. I need both of them. It means that when I became comfortable living in the tension between the beauty and the structure, I mean, I have realized that this is actually my superpower, if I might say something like that. So this duality is the word, yeah. This duality is actually the ability that I keep using every day in my work and also with my client. So it, yeah, I mean, it's just like the foundation of myself, and it's also actually the foundation about exit strategy. But we are going to talk about more deeply about what is exit strategy next week, because I want to do like another live saying like why exit strategy exists and why it exists as it is today, like the formula that we are presenting today. So yeah, I mean, if you want to know more about exit strategy, yeah, I mean, watch also the live next week, or if you're watching a replay of this live, yes, feel free to scroll down in the playlist, and it's gonna be exactly like there, the live. So what happens that I did my university in Italy. I did my university in Sardinia, and I just studied both the ways of building the world around us. So I have studied civil engineer and architecture as well, and I have doubled the title back to Italy, while in UK, I have converted, formally speaking, only the second one, so architecture. But yeah, I mean, in my everyday work, I was using all my knowledges and skills coming from engineering as well. But before coming to UK, I just moved from Italy to Canada. Then from Canada, I came into London, and then here I must confess that I wasn't planning to stay so long. But then, COVID happened, and so many things changed. I changed, the market changed, the work environment changed as well. And so, yeah, I mean, I am just reshifting everything, and I'm still in London. But yeah, I mean, this is just what it is. I must confess that here in London, I have worked in projects that they were getting like bigger. They were like so prestigious for thinking from where I was coming from, and they were also very, very, very complex. And that has been the point where like leading teams actually became something that I was supposed to study. So I did some courses about leading teams, because even if I was just taking like a book, it was not compatible, like it was not fitting the complexity of the project where I was involved in. And I needed to study from someone that was better than me. one reason why I usually take classes or courses is just because, not because I want the certificate, but simply because I want the knowledge, and I want to know like a workflow studied by someone that dedicated their life to that subject. And so they can just help me in providing a better service, if it makes sense. And so this is the reason why I just take the certifications. And to be honest, like when the project became too complex to manage and leading them by myself and just taking a handbook, I just moved into some paid courses that would help me in manage the complexity that I was dealing with day after day. And from outside, this career like looked like perfect. I had like international experience. I had a high profile project. I had my teams. I was dealing with clients that were investing like billions of pounds in their projects. They were like such great businessmen. Many of them like with MBA, because that is the only thing. If you are investing billions of pounds, right? You can't just like be whatever. They were such a great mind, and I feel so lucky in how to deal with them for like achieving like in my work environment. But at the same times, I was very good in the technical, and what I can tell you is just like I have realized after a while that the project were failing not because of the technical problems, but because of the humans ones. We are complicated human beings, so we all have our experiences. We all wanted something, but we treat our teams, our client, our stakeholders, like they are just the numbers, like they are just an issue, like they are just someone that you want to avoid. And guess what? I have learned through multiple cultures and through multiple projects that in reality, humans works always in the same way. And the only thing that everyone want to see at the end of the day, just that it's valued, it's respected, it's seen. And if you are scared of talking with someone or like if you are in conflict with someone, all of this part of being seen is just gonna be like it's just gonna be missed. And unfortunately, this is just the start of where everything falls apart. And if you do not have a team, you can't just deliver any project, to be honest, because team exists because the owner can't do the job all by themselves. So if you, whatever, I'm always saying, like, if you're not taking care about your people, you can't have anyone that is working in the same direction as you want, because you are the boss. And if they are not working with you, if they are not selling the ship with you, I mean, there's not gonna be any successful deliverable. This is like my experience, and this is the mistake number one that is the reason why so many projects fails, and you have like deadline missed, scope like creeps, and so on. Also, in terms of your team, just remember that every time that you are losing one person in your team because they do not want to look for you, work for you anymore. So they're just gonna come back into the recruitment world. And when they leave you, it means that it's gonna take you from 6 to 9 months at least to bring the new team member at the same level as it was before. Like sometimes it takes at least 2 months, but based on the project, even 4 or 6 months, just to get used to the standard, the people involved, the project itself. So like not taking care about your people is what is gonna really damage your reputation. And we are international exit strategy, because we know that if you want to exit, if you want to sell your company, you can't sell it if your delivery process, if your client management, if your stakeholder engagement, if no one wants to work with you, if everything this one is messy, you're not gonna find any buyers that want to buy your company. Or if you're lucky to find someone, I'm sure they're gonna ask you for a massive, very important discount on your offer. So we just want you to have the best delivery possible for choosing if keep on going like drama free and be free to sell whatever you feel like you want to, or if you want to sell out like today, you can't if your delivery is messy. But coming back to my story, I mean, I would say like the deliverables, I mean, the project fails, not because of the technical problems, but because of miscommunication, misalignment, expectation, people not feeling valued, and everything falls apart. I want to tell you like a personal story that I mean, I'm still surprised when I think about this episode of my life, but it really happened. So, I mean, I remember that I was in a review with my boss, and he told me like, your communication with client is excellent. Your internal communication is poor. And I still, even today, I can't really understand how this is possible, because if the client is happy, if the project is successful, if the outcomes are where we promised instead of over-promising, how is possible that the internal communication is wrong? How is possible that the people that I'm dealing with every day, feel like there is a miscommunication between us, while like the client that, it's more strict than anyone else because it just like investing all their money, is actually happy about my way of communicating. So when I had this note, I thought that, okay, that has to meaning something, and I wasn't failing the system, but it was like the system failing me, because it can't be in any other ways. Like it's just like there's no way someone else that I'm dealing with less and it's paying me, it's actually happier that the people close to me. So the problem is in the system. And I want to give you another concrete example. I was assigned to a project as a project manager, and with this project, I had just this impossible timeline. There is like also another video, like 2 teams, so 1 deadline. No, what was it? Like the title, 2 deadlines, 2 teams, and 1. Oh my gosh, I need to have a look at the um, 2 deadline and 1 team, and I mean how I manage this situation. I don't remember exactly the title, but it was something like that, like 2 teams, 1 team, 2 deadline in the same day, and in any case, I managed the deadline. In any case, for whoever didn't watch that video, the point is just like I was assigned to this impossible deadline project, and everyone knew I couldn't be done with this timeline, and but no one want to say it like loudly. And when I mean, when I was not complaining, like when I was asking to my boss, like, can we just do something for this deadline? Because I mean, I can say it from day one, it's not achievable. My boss told me, I have tried multiple times with the clients, Stefania, but they won't push back. And so I asked my boss, can I try? And my boss said, yeah, you can. And then probably hasn't said it loudly, but he thought like, I'm sure you'd fail. And what happened is just like I had this conversation with the client. I set up a meeting and we renegotiated the milestone. The client was happy, and we delivered like 70% of the project has the first timeline, and then 30% of the project was delayed 2 months later. The client was perfectly fine because we understood exactly why he wanted that day and not another one. So we have provided all the information needed for that day. So we delivered to the client exactly what we had agreed. And you might think like this is a successful story, right? The problem is just like I was fired because of this new renegotiation. And it wasn't because I lost my job, not because the project failed, because it was successful, of course, but I lost my job because I made my boss like look bad by succeeding where he failed. And also like it hasn't been said very clearly, but my understanding it's also that the company was understaffed, and in their plan the people that I moved 2 months, like a pushback 2 months more for delivering the rest of the 30% of the project. Apparently, they were supposed to be reassigned in other projects inside the company, and the company didn't want to hire new people, and they were already understaffed. So, I mean, I was told you should have failed like we expected. And I was like, okay. And that is the moment where I realized that I had been trying to squeeze myself into systems that weren't actually designed for how I thinking, who I am, and how I worked. So this system actually punished the success and like in a weird way, let's say, or something like that. And even the success that I achieved belonged to someone else, because of course, like they have that project in their portfolio. They have a client that is happy because of my negotiation, and I'm sure about that because I mean, the client in every meeting was always like very happy. It was just like, yeah, Stefania did that. We love it. We can't wait for having. And then when we were closing to the milestone, he was just like, yeah, I can see like, thanks to Stefania, I can see like the end. I can see like you can make it. We are so happy. So I'm sure like the client was really happy. It wasn't missing any opportunity for saying how happy he was to see that actually he was getting what he's asked at the beginning. So yeah, I mean, that system, that way of working was not like based on me. And when this happened, when people were expecting me to failing, in that moment, everything changed for me. I mean, it, as I said, like it was just weird. So during all this corporate climbing, I had also a secret. There was like my art world, as I was mentioning at the beginning. So I mean, at the beginning, when I was small, I studied music. I was playing and doing concert or jig for like piano and violin as well, even though my main instrument was violin, but I was really good in music, and so I was also doing like small concert and competitions as well for piano. And when I was at the university, I was coming home too late, and I was not able to keep on playing as I was before. So when music was slowing down, I just moved to photography. And in photography, I have another world. I have a lot of my friends over there. It's just like another world that I love. And in that way, I was able to like stay focused to who really I am, even though I was in the corporate world. Because when like Vogue was publishing my pictures, so when my pieces were like doing exhibitions in museums, in national museums in Italy. I mean, I felt like the real myself. I felt like the authentic to me was there more than every project milestone that in any case was always come back with some sort of drama. No matter I want to see it like in that system way, we were put it in a position to say many times, no, we can't achieve this milestone because it's unrealistic. We can't do this because it's someone else's role. No, I can't do it. No, this is not applicable. No. And I mean, we were like a team of people that we were always like put in a position of saying no. And this has affected also our mental health. Like I remember that they were coming to me saying like, you are so negative, Stefania. And it took me like a therapy to understand it that actually I wasn't a negative person. It's just like I was used to say like, no, this milestone is completely unachievable in 10 weeks. Saying day after day, no, because I can't see any other way, and I always needed to renegotiate whatever is your deal. I mean, I had became like a negative person. In reality, I'm not. So how can you actually work with a team that is negative, with a team that even before you starting talking, even before start saying, we have the new target to hit, they have already in their mind like, okay, this is impossible, this is not achievable, I can't wait for like this day be over and come back home, that is not a team that can bring you so far. I mean, and keep it in mind. If you feel like your team is in one of these situations, please call me or send me a DM, because it's really dangerous for you and your company, because I can guarantee you you're not going to deliver anything successful. So I'm trying to be faster, because I mean, oh my gosh, I'm already like more than 35 minutes. So I mean, I have bring this way of living also the art world. Just remind me that I'm not just an architect, a civil engineer, a project manager, or a business strategist. I am someone that actually sees beauty in structure, that wants to find the creativities in the constraint, and who just believes that the best solutions honors both the logic and the intuition. It's the core of who I am. It's the core of why I had just started in Sardinia and I have arrived where I am today. And to be honest, my clients has always been happy. You can see out of my recommendation, testimonials, or whatever you want to call them, because I bring the same artistic sensibility and the like engineering, logic, and the grounding effect for actually building successful processes that are successful for the system itself and for the people that lead the system. What more can I say? Let me think about that. Yeah, I mean, let's say when I decide to leave the corporate world. So first of all, as I said, like I ended up twice in the hospital, and it hasn't been like a funny moment, neither of the two times. And so I was just like, okay, this is your health, you know, and you need to take care about yourself, Stefania. And I just leave corporates because I could see so many problems, like many corporates, or in any case companies, because it's not only my world, like even my people, my friends, etc. They told me stories and they tell them to me still now. So it's not only in the past. And I can see like this is the reality of so many companies. Like you are still running the company like we are in 1990 or early 2000s, anything like that. And the world just move on, changed. Your people changed, and you can't just run the company as it was like back in the days. Some things are still like the same principle, the same core principle are the same, but generally speaking, it's completely another new world, and it's more complex than what you can think of. Especially like right now with the AI, remote work, there are so many things that even 10 years ago were like unimaginable. You couldn't think about them. Sorry. Okay, I don't have the vocabulary right now in my mind. And I mean, these bring new benefits for your company, but at the same time, it brings new complexity, and you need to upgrade your leadership, your negotiation skills, your communication skills, and of course also your managing one, because those are just like the consequences of communication, negotiation, team conflict, and all those parts. Um, when I left and I just decided to start international exit strategy, the plan was not clear in my head. I didn't have like a 5 years plan or didn't even know exactly what I wanted to build. But what I knew at that moment was just like that I couldn't I couldn't keep pretending that external validation was the same as a personal fulfillment. And I knew that the problem um, I'd been solving in corporates like founder dependency, communication breakdowns, unsustainable work culture, all of them, like they weren't just a corporate problem. They are, like, as I said, everywhere. And what I knew is just like my approach combines strategic thinking with human-centered design, and I want to bring both structure and creativity, focusing on relationships as much as to the deliverables. And in this way, we could help people build businesses that do not burn them out. I was just reading yesterday an article, and they were saying that in UK, 91% of all the people working have experienced mental health issues, and they somehow feel they are stressed. 91% of the people. It means that if you have a team of 10 people, like not even one is fully okay. They are all facing stress, and you can't go anywhere if you stress. You need to calm down when the pressure is on. That is the only way for being successful and for making something that is going to be sustainable in the long term as well, because we can like handle pressure up to one point. Just think like about our high pressure in the body, like the heart one. Um, if it's gonna be some days, that's fine. If it's gonna be like in the long term, it can damage your body, and that's why you just need to go to the doctor. This works exactly the same. You can't have people that face stress so long. And this is what actually we in exit strategy mean when we say like we help you delivering drama free. We want people that yeah, maybe there's going to be some pressure, but it's the kind of motivation that makes them feeling kind of excited and they want to push you harder because they get some satisfaction at the end of the day. Not that they are just coming to the end of your deadline and they are completely drained. That is not going to be helpful for anyone. And this is the reason why there are so many burnouts right now in the work environment. So, I mean, what more can I say? Yes, as I said, like Exit Strategy is a project management agency, and we want to help businesses scale sustainable or like sell your company at the best price, the best higher price. And the real mission is just like I want to help everyone to escape from the trap I was in, like the trap that requires you as a business owner 24/7 availability, the trap that the successor actually feels empty. And if every framework that I have built, every conversation that I had with my client, it came from personal understanding and what it feels like to be trapped in someone else's dreams or something that feels empty. So the 5 A's framework that I shared with Barbara, that is like the process that I use for my own transformations, the lessons learned, another process that we use to audit your your project and moving forward, like fixing whatever we need to fix. It's just because I learned in the hard way that ignoring pattern can actually makes them repeating. Like the story is gonna repeat itself if you're not gonna do anything for changing it. So the emphasis in communication and relationships as well is what makes the real difference in the project, because people feel like they can make it. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be completely another way of delivery. So yeah, I mean, whoever want to know me, I am Stefania Arca, and I'm someone who learned that the authenticity isn't a luxury, but it's like a necessary. And I'm someone that discovered the skill that made me difficult in corporate environment actually are my greatest strength as an entrepreneur. And I am someone that really believes that your business should serve your life and not consuming it. So I'm gonna close down this live over here. If you want to know more, if you have a chat with me, please feel free to DM me or send me like a message on LinkedIn. You can find me as Stefania Arca, or as well, like you can contact me through our website, which is going to be www.internationalexitstrategy.com. And yeah, I mean, we have already anticipated something, but next week is going to be the live about why exit strategy exists. I can't wait for meeting you there as well. And I wish you a lovely day ahead. Bye.